Is it possible to get your streaming revenue the same day the streaming is actually happening? Or is it possible to get any faster than the 60 to 90 days that most independent artists generally have to wait in order to get their Spotify streaming revenue from royalties, Apple Music, Amazon, all those other companies, right? Because there's actually some companies out there that are doing some innovative stuff that are that are enabling that for some artists right now. And the future is looking very bright because not only are certain companies focusing on that and enabling, artists to use their revenues the same day it sort of streams, but NFTs are something that will potentially add a lot of these systems and functionalities into the music industry, allow artists to sort of finance their future earnings and get them right away. So I want to kind of talk about that and break that down a little bit. What's going on, guys? My name is Matei. Another day for Music Biz Daily. To all my YouTubers, I appreciate you guys interacting with my channel and with my videos, giving me feedback, liking, disliking, commenting, letting me know what you think about the videos, or letting me know what you guys want me to do videos on in the future. So for that reason, make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that notification button so you get these videos on a daily basis. In the description below, you can check out what me and my team do. Specifically, check out the Indie Artist Accelerator, because we cover information like this on a lot more, detailed basis in there all the time. And also make sure you check me out weekly on Twitch with Clinton Sparks. We have a new segment called Music Biz Weekly, and we always discuss the major music business, legal, and technology news, and we go back and forth, and it's a lot of great perspective you guys are going to gain. So let me get into this topic about seeing if there's any way artists can get their money up front the day it's streaming in real time. So this video was sort of requested by one of my fans. She sent me this question. She said she saw this Houston rapper, I believe his name is Sauce Waka, or Waka, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, but he was advertising that he basically teamed up with Create Music Group to be able to get his money the same day it's coming in through the streaming platforms, right? So, I guess he's just advertising the fact that he's able to use this credit card, but actually let me talk about it, because, Create Music Group is a great company. A few of my clients are going through there. It's sort of Create Music Group is a major label, I guess you could say. Yeah, they're a major label providing digital streaming platforms, other digital services. They do management. They manage like Marshmello, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, even 6ix9ine is going through them as a major client, using them independently for streaming. So definitely a huge company and very innovative, doing a lot of stuff. So what they've done is, for a select few of their clients, they introduce what's called a Create Carbon credit card. And it's a Visa card that sort of puts a balance of money on that card based on future projections of what one of their clients, artists, will stream or generate in digital revenue, not just through Spotify and Apple Music, but also through YouTube and any other digital revenue streams that Create Music knows this artist has been able to generate over and over again in the past. It sort of works like a regular credit, right? Just like if you were to go to a bank and you want to get a loan for your future house, a real estate loan, the bank is going to do underwriting, which is that essentially means the number crunching to look at your credit, the house you're buying, the location, what's the risk of giving you the money, X, Y, and Z. There's a lot of data they're crunching to be able to give you a loan for your future house, right? And it depends on your credit. They'll look at last 3 years of your, job, bank accounts, pay stubs. They look at your taxes and things like that, and your other credit history to determine whether or not you're a high risk or a low risk for a particular loan. And depending on your risk level, you may still get the loan, but they'll raise the APR, the sort of percentage they're going to charge you in interest in order to be able to get that money up front to use it for something like purchase of real estate. Obviously, real estate in most cases is a very low risk purchase or an asset that you're buying just in general. So that's why even people with not that great of credit can get sort of loans for houses, because worst case scenario, the bank will take the property, which they don't like to do, because it's an extra asset they got to manage, but at least it's an asset that's real that can be sort of, resold on the market. Now, when it comes to projecting future earnings off of digital products and digital streaming, is not as easy. or is easily calculated. It depends a lot on the prior history of that artist. But Create Music is very innovative, and they are crunching these numbers, and they're able to do that, right? So that's one of the few companies that's sort of, allowing artists to finance their future earnings. So they get to spend it now based on future projections, but of course they pay interest for that, a little bit more than a regular credit card. And nothing crazy, but I think it's like anywhere between 5 to 9%. I don't have the detailed numbers on that, so don't hold me to those numbers, but it's, it's not as bad as a regular credit card. So having said that, that's obviously not the only company that's focusing on this. Universal, Warner Brothers, Sony, the major three, and then Atlantic and Jive and all these other sub-labels, they're all going to be focusing on things like this, especially because the data these days is richer. There's more revenue streams, digital revenue streams, an artist or a producer or DJ can take advantage of. And based on the sort of credit history or the performance history, put it that way, based on the past performance of these artists being able to generate streaming revenue either on a monthly basis over the last 2 years, or every time they put out an album, every time they put out a project, a single, or whatever the case may be, these companies will sort of act as a bank, and they know they're going to get paid by Spotify and Apple Music and Amazon Music and YouTube because they got those license deals already pre-negotiated. They roughly know how much they're going to get paid, and they're going to be able to calculate with a fairly low risk of how much money they can sort of advance to the artist to use. So really, it's like a real-time advance, if you want to think of it that way. But that's not the only way to do it. NFTs are hopefully going to be bringing a lot of functionality, a better functionality systems to be able to do this in the future. There's a company called Blue Box that's associated with Ditto Music that's doing something similar with another third-party company. I forgot their name, but I made a video about this about a month and a half ago. You can check it out. But they're also trying to figure out how to use NFTs to sort of predict the sellability of an NFT product, streaming, if they can ever tie NFTs to copyrights and royalties. They're trying to create a future system where it will not only allow artists to get their money first, but it will sort of project and assess the performance of past streaming and past production value and the ability to get your music out there, and also the future earnings based on that. So you're going to be able to start seeing loans given out in the music industry a lot easier than back in the day. Like these days, you can't go to Bank of America or PNC or a major bank, Citibank, and ask for a loan as a music artist. You may be able to do it as a Universal, music group, as a major billion-dollar, international public corporation, because there's sort of business credit there. But you can't do it as an artist because, let's face it, let's be honest, investing into a music artist or anything like that in the music industry is probably one of the highest risk things you can invest to, unless you've been in the industry and know what you're doing. That's why labels are some of the only big players or private investors who essentially run their own indie labels are only some of the only people with money like that will be willing to or know how to invest into artists properly to actually realize a return out of it. But as these technologies like NFTs and everything is sort of becoming all digital, everything is properly licensed, everybody's getting their piece of the pie from every single social media company, every blog and all of that. As that continues to advance, there's going to be ways to be able to calculate future earnings, and there's going to be a lot more of that coming on, and maybe NFTs will enable an industry where artists, even before getting to the major levels, will be able to finance their future tour or their future album release or future merchandise packaging and distribution based on their past performance of their music, and get loans based on this. Kind of like hard money loans in real estate for you to rehab properties. That would be a great thing, because otherwise you really can't walk into a bank and get a loan for the music industry. It's very difficult. So let me leave you with that. I think that's great news, exciting. As always, make sure you comment on this video. We can continue the conversation in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. And share this with whoever needs to see it. Save it, comment on it, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys tomorrow, as always, for another day of Music Biz Daily. Peace.